Hey guys, and welcome to part 28 of the Resident Evil 6 playthrough. We are now on to the final campaign of the entire game. It's Ada 1's campaign. Now we get to see what the fuck she was hiding for all the rest of the characters.
Yay! The mysteries will be resolved.
And we're starting it in a submarine.
That looks like some sort of space outfit at first glance.
Aye, something out of Dead Space maybe?
Oh, I cannot wait to get to Dead Space.
Oh, hello fan service.
Yeah,
how you doing today?
Of course.
Japan!
You forget that's a company that routinely sells hentai to make money. As an actual business. Same for video games too.
Aye. So here we are, Ada 1, first introduced in Resident Evil 2, and makes her return in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, in 2 and 4 she was voiced by Sally Cahill, and in Umbrella Chronicles, which charted how she actually did escape from Raccoon City.
Oh, it's a good old pal Cinnamon Simmons. I have to say, that is a badass phone for just being a cube, but... What is it? The game timeline's like 2013, and now we're in 2018. They've still not invented
Still
stuff.
don't have this.
Now I have to pick out something that's wrong on the PS4 version. See how Simmons looks in this cube? It looks really pixelated.
Yeah, because of a higher resolution.
And this cutscene right here, she's supposed to be looking at files of the submarine, but if you watch right here, you can't see shit.
What? Did that happen on the PS3 version?
Yeah, no, it didn't happen in the PS3 version. You were able to visually see the submarine files, but here they just forgot. I'm guessing forgot to put them in.
And in this game, no, actually, from Damnation onwards, Ada's voiced by Courtney Taylor, who I also met at the same event where I met DC Douglas. She's such a lovely lady.
Now, the way this used to be in the original game, folks, is that when you beat all 3 campaigns of like Leon, Chris, and Jake, you would unlock Ada's campaign. But ever since a patch that came out, what, a week or so, month or so later, after the game was released, that they decided to make Ada's campaign unlocked from the beginning.
Did that also introduce her imaginary friend?
What is this imaginary friend you speak of?
When they added co-op to Ada's campaign, this was in, I think, the same update. There was also a new difficulty included called No Hope, where you're not allowed to use your skill points. It's essentially professional but stupid hard.
And your health does not regenerate.
Yeah, if you die and you click continue on the You Are Dead screen, you'll only respawn with 1 block of health. But they also introduced a new character called Agent.
So original.
Yeah.
Anyway, this particular bit right here in the first chapter, it's incredibly stealthy. If you get spotted, the alarm goes off, and they throw you a shit ton of enemies. And at this point, you've only got a few weapons up your sleeve.
Crossbow.
Mainly the crossbow, which is your silent weapon for these stealth sections, folks.
And the bane of your existence in the Resident Evil 4 playthrough.
Don't remind me. This is how they have to properly use it.
Yeah, not shooting Leon with it.
At least unlike the crossbow they unlocked for Resident Evil 5 for Sherry, this one actually has an aiming reticule.
Yeah, and didn't Claire get a bow gun in 2 and Veronica?
Yeah, but it wasn't as powerful as this. But the crossbow's really good, especially for the stealth sections.
The only problem is that you have to reload after every shot.
Yeah, but the good thing is that if you get a headshot, it's an instant kill. Especially if they don't see you. Beautiful.
Metal Gear Evil.
So this is what Ada's campaign is going to be mostly about, folks. It's going to be a little bit like Leon's, but with a lot more stealth in it, like from Jake's. So this is, and plus this has a lot more of the traditional Resident Evil puzzles, so to speak. So this is probably my second favourite campaign in the game.
Puzzle. We'll see later. They're very streamlined in this game compared to the classics.
Well, I would say the game with the most pathetic puzzles is Resident Evil 4. Anyway, you were talking about Ada's imaginary friend, Agent.
Agent, who's introduced in I think, the No Hope update, where you could play as him in Mercenaries. He's literally just a random soldier, generic soldier, who recycles a lot of the melees from the characters. He gets Chris's neck breaker, Pierce's throw attack from the head stun Joavo, and Sherry and Leon's roundhouse kick. Were there any others? I'm trying to think. I think the only attack that was his own is his coup de grace, where he brings his fist high up into the air and slams it down. That's the only attack he has that is his own.
Or there was another new nickname for him, Not Hunk.
But in co-op, if you're playing co-op in Ada's campaign, you can play as her imaginary friend.
But the problem is that unlike the other free campaigns, that Ada's co-op is not drop in and drop out, where you can just drop in at any point you want. Yeah, the player one who always has to be Ada has to be the host, and it has to be at the beginning of the chapter.
If the Ada player leaves at any point, the agent player is dropped from the game. Even worse, the agent player cannot use any
key
objects.
items. Like, he can't open doors, he can't push obstacles, he can't pick up levers or crests.
Like, what the fuck? And we say he's her imaginary friend because she likes to talk to herself a lot. Like,
and none of the other characters see, even when you have a story intersection with Ada and the campaign, if you have a partner with you and agents there, the other characters are like, say, Leon and Hella, for example, will act as if he's not there.
Even though he's physically there helping them. And he has his own, like, phrases and everything.
And he was also added as an unlockable extra character for the extra modes in RE6.
He was also the most broken.
Now, this particular moment right here, I swear, half the time when I'm playing online, when it gets to this, before it loads up this cutscene, I would always get a disconnection and that partner would always leave because of lag.
Yeah, something like that. Now, the worst disconnects are the ones where it says that you've been removed by this player when they clearly didn't fucking do that.
That's right.
And it's just the servers acting up.
Don't worry if you missed the crossbow, they have tunnel vision, they can't see it.
So they just missed the clearly lethal arrow flying right past them. Okay. Yeah, they're just as dumb as ever, folks.
Nice. Beautiful. That's
hell yeah!
That's satisfaction when you get a headshot, folks.
Boom, a headshot! Oop, did he see you?
Yeah, no,
he's starting to say something.
No, if he saw me, the alarms would be going off. With Ada's crossbow, folks, there are two types of arrows you can have. There's the standard arrows, which are quiet and they do a lot more damage, and by that they can one-shot enemies from the head. Or there's the explosive arrows, where they don't do enough damage, but they stick to your enemies and they blow up within 5 seconds.
They beat. Yeah, and he's shot me with those before. Like the explosive arrows, they stick to your target and they beep 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 beep. Then they blow up. And this wanker loves shooting me with them whenever he wants to troll me. Because he's just that kind of dick.
Right. Here is your first puzzle for the game. You see this painting right here? You'll have to focus on that door. Oh, this painting. Then the door is locked here. Now you can see those panels there next to the door? What that's going to make is a picture. But the way to see what the picture is going to be, you need to look through here and look at the painting.
The view's blocked.
Yeah, you have to do this every time. It's kind of annoying, actually.
To remove the blockiness, you have to press the button underneath the goat statue, which causes it to move its horns. Now, when you look at this painting, you want to look out for the animal that is in a silhouette. In this case, it's a fish.
Fish.
So you want to, in each of the corners of these rooms, there's going to be one of these panels. You have to make them into the picture of a fish.
Oh, it could so hard.
It could be either a fish, a skeleton, an eagle, or a snake.
This is the most taxing puzzle in the history of everything ever. Not even Professor Layton could solve this. Or the Riddler. It's so hard.
If you fail to get the right picture, all you'll get is an electric shock. It's not an instant death, where unlike the classic,
do damage.
Unlike the classic Resident Evils, like for example in the remake, in the armory, if you fuck up the puzzle, you spill poisonous gas into the room,
which deals damage too. They have a puzzle like that in Zero as well, where it's a chessboard, and if you push the wrong object, you'll let gas into the room and take damage there.
Now, what's good about this campaign is that you see those panels on the floor, folks. They activate the camera's sentry guns, and because for whatever reason this submarine's lingered to Ada's fingerprints, which means we can use the guns to our advantage.
By the way, Agent can't even set these things off by standing on them. Like, what?
They're tied to Ada.
Fingerprints.
Fingerprints, DNA, and all that bullshit.
No, it's just because of Agent, he can't do anything. He's not allowed to do anything, it seems.
Time for a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh boy!
Why isn't the machine gun that ammo is only limited to 60 bullets?
Because Capcom.
It should be at least 200.
Yes, you have to sit for this whole thing every playthrough.
Yeah, you cannot skip this, unfortunately.
Boring.
This is Simmons giving Ada orders to go to Edonia to capture Jake and Sherry, which we saw in Jake's campaign.
Yeah. Where she murdered all Chris's crew. Why? And he's already aware of Jake at this point, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot allow a vaccine to be produced.
Do you think Simmons knew about New Umbrella?
I'm not sure.
Agent Birkin will be sent in to acquire the
Because it comes as a major surprise to him later on.
Because my thing is that I think Simmons knew about the C virus and knew about Jake, but he didn't. But he had something else in mind other than what New Umbrella has done.
Yeah.
Now there's a little bit. There's another downside in the PS4 version. You see how the PowerPoint presentation slide has stopped. In the PS3 version, the lights would turn on and then you would automatically go to the next dialogue. Here, for whatever reason on the PS4, you have to wait at least 10 seconds before it does that. I don't have no idea why.
That was dated 6 months
There's
ago.
always something that gets
That
fucked
can't
up
be
in
right.
ports of games
I don't remember
nowadays.
those orders.
Even if it's just
Maybe
one.
they were passed on to someone else.
Dead Rising 2 is one of the worst examples of a quote-unquote remaster. That game is fucking broken on PS4.
And the alarm's off, so that means we have to get the fuck out of here.
This is bullshit right here. You're placed in front of enemies and as soon as you get control, you're taking damage there. Lovely.
What's unique about the crossbow is that when you do the rolls, for Ada, you can do cartwheels. But it's funny when you look at the PC version and people mod the crossbow to let others use it, and then like say
Samurai Chris.
like Samurai Chris, and then he does all this backflips and all that shit.
I'm very athletic, if you can't tell. I'm in tip-top condition.
Now watch that standard melee. Actually, that pushes you forward.
Which makes collecting the time bonuses in the catacombs impossible for Ada without sliding, because you'll go right into the fucking blade trap.
Instant kill traps.
Instant dying stats and
Aye.
mercenaries.
Another unique weapon that Ada gets in here is another machine pistol. A bit of a weak name if you ask me. It's called the Ammo Box 50.
And it is very weak. Does not deal a lot of damage at all.
But it holds 50 bullets per magazine.
Yeah. Step on that and watch the poor assholes die.
Yep. Let all the turrets do all the work for you at this
So
point.
much death and misery. You already knew that. What does she think? Agent's here?
He's here in spirit. That's what it is.
No, Agent is the true final boss.
Son of a bitch.
He orchestrated the whole thing. The construction of Neo Umbrella. Hell, even he was ordering Wesker to work for Umbrella. He goes all the way back to Resident Evil 1.
What, he would have been, 50 years old now? If it wasn't obvious enough, yes folks, these types of Joavo belong to New Umbrella.
Yeah.
Where they've got the Killzone helmets on.
Ada's the only character who fights all
insane in the membrane.
Ada's the only character who fights all types of enemies in her campaign. Zombies, Joavo.
Well,
Chris doesn't even see a zombie.
no, apart from the extras mode, but they're not canon.
Neither does Jake and Sherry.
Right, this guy on the Gatling gun, just jump onto this panel and the machine gun that's behind him will take care of him.
Betrayal.
No, betrayal. The ultimate betrayal is in Super Mario where when you use Yoshi to get an extra jump.
I love that song she didn't know have lyrics, the one for Super Mario World where it like he jumps off of Yoshi and it's like, turns out that Mario is an asshole.
Found are those mysterious orders from half a year ago.
Ada, Agent's not here. You're talking to no one.
or it's that traditional media thing where you're hearing what she's thinking.
Or is it... No, you can see her mouth moving, so she is saying it out loud. What, is she Dumbledore? I often talk aloud to myself, it helps me think.
No, what was it in that old game, Simpsons Hit and Run? When
Oh.
Homer says something like, gotta return the stuff before the cops find me, sitting around talking to myself.
Oh no, sexy girls could be watching me on the internet. I love that game so much.
Aye, hit and run. That was a good one.
It's just so brainless, just bonking everyone.
Oh!
What the oh yeah.
I
know
shoot
what
the core.
happened
Aye, the beetle head. If you shoot the core, they will explode.
there. And for some reason you take damage when that happens. If you're at close range. That happens a lot in Mercenaries when you try and quick shot it as well. Bonk.
That's your counter against the gun-wielding Juavo where they try to bonk you in the head.
Yeah, there's a glitch as well where sometimes they won't actually do the animation, but they are doing the attack. So, so like he's shooting at you, that's what you'll see, but he's still doing the attack for some reason.
To do the roll maneuver, folks, you aim down your weapon, then you move up with the analog stick, and then press the X button to roll into and to do a roll. But if you hold down the aim button, you'll lie down on the ground. If you release it, you'll just get right back up.
If you tilt it to the side while pressing X, you'll roll to the side.
Do you think the game puts a little too much control in all these maneuvers that they added?
It kind of gets in the way a little bit when you accidentally do the wrong maneuver, and when you also go into the wrong cover system.
Well, I'm talking about people who may have never played a Resident Evil. You think this is a bit too much?
I would say so, because there's a lot of like new little things you can do that you could never do in the classic games.
Aye.
But the only other problem is that you have to remember you can actually do all that now. Because like in the classics, you couldn't even attack an enemy if you didn't equip at least a knife.
Here's another thing about Agent that we're not going to see in this playthrough, folks. In this particular bit where it's a chase sequence, obviously he does not have a grapple gun unlike Ada here, where she stole it from Batman.
He just teleports.
He just teleports from one location to another. It looks odd.
Teleportation, yeah. We
Counter. Ow. Now he's down.
Nope.
Off with the head!
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Now, as you can see from the heads-up display on the bottom right there, if you wonder what that 17 number is, folks, that's the amount of tablets you can hold in your capsule. The tablets are your health.
Or half pills or pills here.
The max you can hold, the game says the max you can hold is 12, but there's a little trick that you can do. You can only put in health tablets 6 at a time. But the trick is that if you want to extend it to 17, wait until you've got at least 11 tablets. You can then put 6 in, and that extends it to 17. 17 is the maximum I've ever gotten this in my entire career of Resident Evil gaming.
Yeah, if you have 12, I think it's 12, you won't be allowed to put any more until you're at least
11.
11. Yeah, just avoid these guys.
Yeah, because the whole submarine's moving and sinking, so you just want to get out of here.
Because Lady Obvious has stated that this sub's not going to last much longer.
Don't you have to point out the painfully fucking obvious, Miss Swan?
Well, she thinks Agent's here, and Agent's an idiot. Or wait, doesn't that create a paradox? Agent's the ultimate villain of everything. How can he be an idiot? I'm so confused. This part's really tedious and boring. Because you have to climb all the way up to this escape pod or whatever.
But what you can do is that when you take a tablet, folks, it also refills your stamina gauge.
So, if you want to speed through this, you have to use your healing items. Wonderful design. Like, on repeat playthroughs especially, this gets really annoying.
Aye.
An Agent has to climb up this as well.
But don't worry, as long as the main player, Ada, gets up, you'll be fine. So what was the point of that if we're going to fall all the way down?
Padding.
QT time?
Bullshit.
So much for the rescue, sir.
And you can't run here forced walking.
You're forced walking.
Just like the Rental 1886.
Sha la 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 la.
That was like the only way they could extend that game's length is by forcing you to take the slow routes. Because I'm not kidding, folks. You can platinum that game, the Order 1886. You can platinum it the same day you get it.
Right, at this point, there's flooding coming up, so you're gonna have to run for your life, folks.
They actually gave you more time in the PS4 version here. Thank fuck for that.
And if you're playing with a co-op partner, they slow down the water, because at this rate it would be impossible.
Yeah. It was far too strict. If the water reaches you while you're still below, then you'll just instantly die.
And by that you'll instantly drown. Right, there's an optional path here, folks. Take this tunnel here, and you'll get a shortcut. Ignore the spiders.
A giant region of spiders.
And then you'll get an emblem, but this is also a shortcut to this valve puzzle where you need to... Well, first you need to shoot this lock on the cage here so that you can cross the bridge, and then turn this valve so that it can take the water off the tunnel.
Also, we're using the company that made Team Fortress and Left 4 Dead 2. Valve.
Now, I didn't realise until very much later on, folks, but when you slide, if you press down and X while at the same time while sliding, you can force yourself back, and it can increase your distance when sliding.
And what it means by that is that you didn't know about that until I did it.
Yes. Whoa, that was close.
God.
And I think this section right here is a homage to classic Resident Evil. For the fixed camera angles. Oh, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it?
No.
Yep, that was pretty close.
I think it's still programmed to like hit the ground as soon as you get on the ladder though, because you do have more time there than in the original game. Because it was really strict in the PS3 version.
Can't say the same for these little rats running around. Right, as I escape the plunges of the depth, we'll see you in the next part, folks.